Hey guys, welcome back to Buff's Vintage Bikes. So part 2 of the Benotto frame restoration. If you haven't watched part 1 of this video, please guys check it out. I'll post the link above or in the description. That'll give you an idea of the prep work that went into it. Now I'm going to cover the fork restoration, the painting of the bike, some panto work on it, adding the decals and the clear coat, and then the handover of that frame. So I really hope you enjoy this video. Just a disclaimer, this is not an instructional video. This is how I do it, and I'm self-taught. I've got a lot of respect for the guys that spray paint. I've learned a lot from ETO on YouTube. Some local spray painters have helped me out with advice, and it's just been a trial and error, a lot of practice. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Enjoy the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Sorry guys, one other thing. This channel's gone to over 3,000 subscribers already. I mean, thank you. And when I started it, I would never have guessed so many people would be interested in listening to an old South African dude ramble on about bicycle restoration. So thanks guys, I appreciate you guys a lot. I really enjoy it. I love the interaction in the comments as well. So please feel free to hook me up with some questions and some advice as well. I love learning new things. Enjoy. So for those that are interested, this is the Moser that formed part of the trade deal for the spray job that I'm doing. Lovely old Moser, some nice panto work on the parts, lovely old school Campagnolo group set on it as well. It's just that top tube, oh my word, it needs some work. Hand painted, frame definitely going to need some of my love and attention, and wheel set not original either. Expect to see this bike in a future restoration video as well. So this is modeling enamel that I'm using here, as I do on most of my projects. I was hoping to use the blue that I sprayed on the frame, which is a slight metallic blue, but that's a 1K paint. If I use it, I'm going to need to use a clear coat over it, which I don't want to do here. Okay, it's the next evening. I'm going to try get this paint off. I've got a business card here. Okay, that was the result of scratching it out, and it absolutely sucks. So I'm going to scratch all of it out, we'll repaint it, and then I'll try wiping it off and see if I get a better result on it. And I think it's because that's so shallow, the paint doesn't really adhere so well. So when I scratch it and it's dry, it breaks off. So I repainted it. And I'm now resorting to the fingernail method. Highly complex procedure this. Your nails have to be the perfect length, like really short. Because if they're too long, they get in there and they scratch the paint out. Guys, sometimes this isn't an exact science. So you got to do what works best. In this case, the panto is really not deep on these forks. Maybe it was re-chromed at some stage, I'm not sure. Or maybe they just didn't do them deep originally. But it makes this quite finicky. Really easy to scratch it out of the grooves. So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to be patient, do little bits at a time. And I'm pretty sure it's going to work, because that's what the other side looks like. And I'm not going to get it any better than that. And I'm fairly happy with that. Right, time to make the magic happen. This is the base white or off-white base coat. We're going to shoot that on the frame first. We're going to let it flash off. Then we're going to shoot 2 layers of pearl over that. This is stage 2. We're going to let that flash off. We're going to mask the frame. And then I'm going to shoot blue, this Hyundai blue, over the front part of the bike. We're going to let that flash off. And then we're going to shoot 2 layers of clear coat over that. And we're going to do this all in one sitting. So that's the off-white that's going to go on as the base coat. I'm going to mix that at a 1:1 ratio now with thinners. And then we're going to spray the first coat on. Okay, so that's 2 layers of the white base coat laid onto the frame now. I'll let it flash off for about 10 minutes. And now I'm going to shoot the pearl on top of this white base. This is the pearl that's going to go onto the base. So we're going to shoot 2 coats of this as well, with 10 minutes flash off time between it. And then this frame is really going to pop. So pearl coat is laid on, 2 coats of it. I'm going to give that 20 minutes to flash off so I can mask the frame, and then spray the blue bit of it in the front. So this is Hyundai blue. When the sun hits this, it's quite incredible. Such a pretty color. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like on the bike. Okay, so that's a blue shot on the front of the frame, pearl on the rear. We're going to bury that in 2 layers of clear coat now. So late afternoon, getting a bit cold now. Luckily I just got the clear coat on in time. That's what it's looking like. So 2 layers of clear. Now the frame is prepared for the decals. How's that blue? Beautiful, eh? So we're back in the workshop with the lovely shiny frame, and now we're going to flat it all down. It's got a little bit of orange peel on it, which you have to look quite hard to see. Typical after your first coats though. So in the background there I've got some 800 water paper, tub of water, flat it all back to dull, get rid of the orange peel that's on it, and then we're going to apply the decals. So, commonly referred to as a fluid pen or a Kemper pen. This is what we're going to do the panto work with on the build. New skill to learn. So that's what the pen looks like. The idea is you put your fluid in there, or your paint, and you just hold the pen upright to sort of that position, and gravity will force the paint out. Well, gravity and the pressure that you got on the material. Not too bad, guys. It's going to take some work, but I think we can get the hang of this. Ideally you want to do this in one fluid motion, but the clear coat's quite thick here because the frame had rust spots on it. So I'm really struggling to get the fluid right to guide inside this. Do you guys remember these blue pinstripes that were on the frame that I showed in video 1? They were on the seat stays and the chain stays. Well, yeah, I'm using pinstripe tape to mask those lines. And I'm going to use my airbrush to actually spray in that pinstriping rather than a pinstriping brush. because I really don't know how to use one, and it'll be extremely difficult on these curved surfaces. So it's finally time to apply the decals. Always an exciting part of a project. So some valuable advice that a local painter gave me, James Perry, is to always apply a decal or your airbrush art to a layer of clear coat, never onto your base paint. The reason for this is if you damage a decal or if you mess up your airbrush art, you can always remove it without the risk of damaging your base coat. This has stood me in good stead in the past, especially on that Panasonic build where I had to redo some of the airbrush work. Yeah, I'm referring back to that drawing that I did in video 1 with all the measurements of the decals. So I'll use that drawing now as reference to get all the measurements to apply the decals to the frame. And then simply using masking tape, mark where the decals need to go. Get all those bubbles out so that your clear coat sits properly as well. So here's a quick look at the frame before it now goes for clear coat. You'll notice all that pearl paint is very dull. Decals are applied. And then once you apply clear coat, hopefully everything will pop beautifully. So what I'm really hoping to preserve when I shoot the clear coat is this stamped Columbus tubing logo at the back of the headset. On the previous paint job this wasn't visible because the paint was too thick, but now you can actually see it. So sorry about this lighting again, but before you spray clear coat, make sure you wipe your frame down with a tack rag. This is what it looks like. It's very sticky, so all the little furs and dust and stuff sticks to it. And you don't have to wipe hard at all. The stickiness sort of grabs anything that's on the frame, picks it up. Be careful of your decals, of course. I'm doing this while the clear coat is still fairly wet, because if I leave the clear coat dry, it's going to chip this blue off. So we're back in the garage after a final clear coat. The job's not over. Now comes rubbing the frame down with, I'm going to use 2500 water paper. That's to get rid of any imperfections on your clear coat. And then I'm going to hit it with a polisher. And once that's done, we're sitting with the final product. Now applying some polishing compound. So that's my polisher, a little cordless handheld unit. Guys, I think we're done.